Hey, I'm here at Up and Farms Food Hub, and I'm thinking about greens. As the weather gets a little bit colder, the greens really get tasty, and that's what we can grow well in Mississippi during the wintertime. I have three kinds of greens here that are the most commonly used in pot greens, or the kind of greens we're used to with cornbread and pot liquor. This is a collard green. Collards are a little bit heavier and a little bit more leathery than the other greens that we use. And they're really wonderful if you stir fry them, or you can cook them like your mother did and cook the death out of them. But they tend to be a little bit firmer. The stems are harder and not quite as easy to use. So usually we rip the green off the stem, but you can use the stem too. But collard greens are catching on a lot more, and they're very closely related to kale. I wanted to show you also some mustard greens. Mustard greens we're familiar with. They have that kind of bite like the mustard that you use on Chinese food. They can be very hot, and when you eat them raw, they have a lot of spiciness to them. Mustard greens are probably tenderer than either turnips or collards, and when you cook them, a lot of that spiciness goes away. So the less you cook them, the more you're going to get the spiciness. They're a little lighter in color. If you notice, the collard greens are almost blue in color. You're going to get a really bright kind of chartreuse color in mustard greens, and they are very tender, and they don't take as long to cook as collard greens do. And these are the old standard turnip greens, except these are very fine turnip greens. They're a special hybrid called Alamo, and they're not as fuzzy as some of the turnip greens that we get. They are very tender, and they will have a flavor that's different. Collards and mustard and turnips are going to have a little bit of a different flavor even after you cook them. But whether you use turnips or mustard or collards, get your greens, because this is a time of year in Mississippi when the greens are the best.